We all know that anything that has a beginning must have an end. The year 2021 had come and gone with its ups and downs. This year 2022 offers you another opportunity to aspire, inspire, and actualize your dreams to greater heights. Glad to know you made it to the new year. My name is Funke Oyeyele. This is Baker's World on the network service of the largest TV network, the NTA. Many thanks for watching. In 2021, Baker's World featured a number of professional cake makers, most of whom are flourishing in their cake making businesses. Each of these bakers did not just inspire us, but displayed high level of creativity in cake making and decorations. Today's show brings you excerpts from selected top 5 episodes in the 2021. In case you missed out then, here is another chance to meet some of our fantastic guests on Baker's World in the just concluded year. Come along with us. With a lot of interest and intrigues, this male cake artist came first on our list. This baker made a unique cake recipe, a pureed strawberry cake. He dazzled us with his creation of a Zoom-themed cake. This innovative decoration is a fusion of 3 cake decorating techniques, and he achieved his concept within a limited time frame that could impress anyone. He is our 2021 Baker of the Year on Baker's World.
Jerome Onaivi is our guest today on Baker's World. Born on November 28, 1979, Jerome Onaivi hails from Edo State.
I do my voice on this beat.
Exclusive from simplyninja.com.
How do you feel being in a female-dominated industry? Do you feel intimidated at all?
I actually feel indifferent. In fact, I actually feel blessed, blessed amongst the women, because you get to learn a lot from them, and it's easy to work with them and share ideas. So I pretty much have so many baker friends, and they help. We exchange ideas to better our products. And intimidated, no. I grew up with 3 sisters, and I'm happily married. I have a wife, so I basically, I just say the world is for everyone. Now we are done with our strawberry puree cake. As you can see, it's all nice and fluffy, so we can get the perfect cylinder. We are ready to knead our fondant and roll it out so that we can cover our nicely made cake. Before we apply it on the cake. So we now cut out the excess. Cut out the excess. I'm going to use my pattern press to do some decorations on the board. This way. We'll take out the excess so that our board looks very nice and clean. Now we're done with covering the cake. We're going to proceed to the paint work. We want to make a zoo theme cake, so we're going to paint the outline of the zoo gate. So we're going to replicate, try to paint the outline of the zoo gate on the cake. I will start by drawing the outlines for the colors, and we'll take it from there. to the trunk. Every tree must have a tree trunk. So we move to the trunk. It was pre-cut. So we place this here. And it's going to go all around, all the way to the end. This is for this side. So we chop out the excess. We're going to try and create some animals to put in the zoo. And I'll be making an alligator, and my assistant here, Innocent, will make a panda. Thank you. Now we're done with our animals. We successfully made a crocodile and a panda, and place these animals on the cake. We put our panda here by the gate, welcoming all the kids to the zoo, and we put the crocodile way on top.
In 2021, we had our first set of young bakers on the show, Sharon and Orion. These charming sisters were really amazing as they created a safari jungle themed cake. I guess if there's not too young to run, so I guess there should be not too young to bake. Zara, you're 8, right?
9.
Ooh, 9, that is so young. And you, how old are you?
10 plus.
Well, it's really impressive that you guys have picked up baking at this age. So what made you pick up interest this early on in baking?
Well, my mom, I always see her. She always makes delicious and yummy cakes, and her decorations for cakes are very nice. So I started to practice, and I started getting better and better. And she keeps on telling me, practice makes perfect.
Okay, what about you, Zara?
My mom always makes cakes for me and my sister, my father. Anytime that it's my birthday, she makes for me cakes instead of buying one. And I also tried them. She always say that if you try harder, you'll get it right.
You know, working with colors are very fun. What colors do you love working with most? Let's start with you.
I love using blue and green.
Blue and green?
Yes.
And you, Zara?
I like working with pink.
So at what age exactly did you start making pastries?
My first pastry was when I was 7.
7. What did you make?
I actually started with vanilla. Red velvet.
Was it any good?
It was kind of hard.
It was hard.
Yes.
So who supervised you, or did you just, did you just go to the kitchen and you start mixing something together?
Actually, I wasn't allowed to use a machine because I didn't know how to use it at first. So I started using my hand to mix it. It was kind of hard.
Okay.
So now that I'm a pro in it, I can use mixer whenever I want. My name is Orion Mbama, and my assistant here is
Zara Mbama.
First, we are going to start with our sugar and butter, which is also known as creamy sugar. Then now our butter.
There you go.
We're going to mix for 10 minutes till it is creamy and fluffy. This is our cake. It's baked and cold. It's ready to be decorated. Top of the icing. Group it back. Our next stage now is to cover our cake. So we start by rolling our fondant. After that, we use our rolling pin put it in the middle, then we carry it. Then we put it down gently. Then we smoothen it. Now I'm going to add the base to my cake to increase the height. So the last thing we're going to do is add our ladybug on top of the cake. And finally, we're done with our safari jungle cake.
At number 3 on the list is a certified food handler who gave us a wedding cake concept, fondant stone effect. This is an ideal concept for a wedding cake.
Failure should not be your bus stop. Failure should be your way forward.
Our guest today is a meticulous and certified food handler. Chidima Ogboji Ogunlade was born in Kano on November 23rd into a family of 5 and hails from Ebonyi State.
What would be your advice for that young person out there, or for someone who is thinking, this is what I love to do, I want to get into the baking career? Where should they start from? What should they get to establish themselves?
The first thing that side talks will push you down. Now we'll start by creaming the margarine. And then we now add the sugar, brown sugar. We'll cream it. It's light and fluffy. While I scrape this, we'll put all dry ingredients together. Flour is 500 grams. Then allspice. Now we have all our dry ingredients here. We'll put on the mixer so that it finishes the creaming process. Now we are going to make our crumb coat. Remember I said cake makers are builders. And we're going to make use of the crumbs as our sand. Now we go. I need to smoothen out the sides, so I use a buttercream smoothener. Here we have our ready-made fondant. So we're going to knead it till it's palleable. So now we'll place the next tier on top of this. Now we're going to make use of dredges to still add some beauty to the lower base. That. You can see how we put everything together, all standing tall and elegant. Now we're going to try and put in the flowers as a topper to finish up the work which we started. Our fruit cake has been decorated, and we have a second tier, all with our stone fondant effect, all standing nice. And then we have the snowflakes effect here, and everything is looking beautiful.
Number 4 goes to the delectable cake artist who made a butterscotch cake with chocolate silks.
I never started with attending a formal training. I learned through my mistakes over the years before I thought I was good enough to charge someone for a cake.
Our guest is an intelligent, charismatic, and enterprising cake artist, Favor Chidera Ikedema.
So one of the things I want to get on right away is you are so young and yet you've established your own business. What inspired you to become a professional baker?
Okay, first and foremost, I've always loved to bake as a child. I love anything cake. And I started off really young, and I have a lot of people telling me they like my cakes, and I will just try out designs by myself. Normally I'm a shy person because I was just thinking, how am I going to, tell people I do cake and get them to believe in me to pay for the services. But eventually, a lot of people were just eating my cakes and they loved it. I'm like, okay, maybe I should turn this hobby into business. So our cakes are completely cooled. So to decorate our cake, we'll be using a premium buttercream. It's a very silky and yummy buttercream to frost our cake. We'll need buttercream on each layer. They are all equal, and we bake with parchment paper, so we won't necessarily have to trim the cake. So now we'll allow our first crumb coat to set. That means we'll have to put it into the refrigerator for at least 5 minutes before we come back to do the final frosting. Thank you. Okay, so our cake is out from the fridge, and we'll have to do the second frosting on the cake. Gently apply. So we're going to have an abstract design on our cake, just something rustic. So I'll be using my buttercream. I added black color into this. You can add any color of your choice. I just want black. So I'll just play around with this. We'll have to create something on the middle, like a hole, so that our chocolate silk can sit perfectly, so we don't. Okay, so it's really up to you if you want to put. This is our cake, and we'll add edible gold leaf to beautify it. And lastly, for sparkle, we just spray some. So this is our premium chocolate art cake, and inside we have raspberry and butterscotch flavor.
And the number 5, but not the least, is the Ice's Big Day of Sharing 2021.
This cake is a weird cake, inspired by the happenings of the last year and a half when COVID-19 came into the world and turned the world upside down. A lot of countries were in confusion, were in chaos. And you discover that COVID-19 took over. You can see the characteristic face mask of COVID-19 here. But with a lot of resistance, with a lot of persistence, you discover that the world is coming back gradually. Flowers represent new life, health being restored back to the world after the devastation of COVID-19.
Some of the highlights of the events included cake making classes, vending, sugar crafting, life challenge, and presentation of awards.
On behalf of Ikes Nigeria FCT chapter, we present this award to you, NTA, for being a pillar of support. You've been very, very supportive, not just this year, and we want to say we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
The Ice's Big Day of Sharing event was a platform that displayed a huge amount of creativity, burst of colors, talent, love, and glamour. Ice's sharing, everyone caring.
Trust you had a great time watching the recap. Join us next week for another exciting episode of Baker's World. For your comments, feedbacks, and participation, you can reach us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's Baker's World on NTA. So come your way next week. I am Funke Oyele. See you then.